Welcome all. Welcome to the national webinar on accessibility of knowledge resources and e-learning management during COVID-19. This is organized by University Library of Chhattisgarh, Kamdenu Vishwavidyalaya, Durg, and Informatics Publishing Limited together. It was guided by ICAR. The program schedule of today's webinar is like this. Welcome address will be given by Dr. S.K. Tiwari. After that, Mr. Joshi from SERA will talk about use of e-resources through JGate. He will hand it over to Mr. Sanjay Grover, who is the CEO of Informatics Publishing Limited, who is going to talk about accessibility of knowledge resources through JGate at SERA. Then he will hand it over to Devendra Thakur, who is the National Sales Manager for Informatics, who is going to talk about e-learning management during COVID-19 at SERA. There'll be a question answer session, and after that, the most awaited presidential address will be given by Honorable Vice Chancellor of CGKB Durg, Dr. N.P. Dakshinkar. In the end, there'll be a lot of thanks by Dr. P.K. Markham, who is the Registrar of CGKB Durg. I'm going to stop the screen share now and hand over to Dr. Tiwari for his welcome address, please. Dr. Tiwari.
Good morning to all respected dignitaries from different parts of our country. Myself, Dr. S.K. Tiwari, in College of Veterinary Science and AH, Anjora Durg, Chhattisgarh Kamdenu Vishwavidyalaya, welcomes you all on this auspicious occasion of national webinar on topic accessibility of knowledge resources and e-learning management during COVID-19, jointly organized by CGKV Durg and Informatics Publishing Limited, Bangalore. On this occasion, first of all, I am highly thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. N.P. Dakshinkar sir, who is the chief patron of this webinar and true motivator for our institute. Sir, I welcome to eminent speaker Dr. S.K. Joshi, in charge consortium for e-resources in agriculture and Directorate of Knowledge Management in Agriculture, ICAR Delhi, and Mr. Sanjay Grover, CEO of Informatics, Bangalore. I am grateful to both of them for giving consent to give this webinar. Sir, library is the heart of any institute and acting as workshop of a scholar. Library science and information services can be assessed by researching through consortium for e-resources in agriculture, eGranth, AgriCat, and online public access catalog for POHA. In this COVID-19, since all colleges are closed, universities closed, these tools are very important for the students to learn many of the things. Now I invite Dr. S.K. Joshi, in charge SERA, and TKMA, ICAR Delhi, deliver his national webinar. Dr. Joshi, please.
A very good morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor Chhattisgarh Kamdenu Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. N.P. Dakshinkar ji, Dr. S.K. Tiwari, Dean, Veterinary College, Anjora, Dr. P.K. Markham, Registrar and Official in Charge, University Library, Dr. O.P. Mishra, Director Research Service, Dr. Dilip Chaudhary, University Librarian, and Mr. Sanjay Grover, CEO Informatics, Deans, Directors of various divisions, scientists, researchers, scholars, and distinguished invitees. So we have assembled here for one day national webinar on accessibility of knowledge resources and e-learning management during COVID-19 for the scientists, researchers, faculty, and students of Chhattisgarh Kamdenu Vishwavidyalaya. The purpose of this webinar is to apprise the participants with the accessibility, sharing, and management of e-resources provided to SERA during COVID-19 scenario. This webinar will also disseminate the knowledge on online journals through JGate SERA with a special reference to modern programs and modern techniques. And I'm sure all the participants of this webinar will be benefited. At the outset, I would like to express my hearty thanks to Dr. N.P. Dakshinkar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Chhattisgarh Kamdhenu University, who has graced us with this august presence. Your being here is a source of inspiration for all of us. Chhattisgarh Kamdhenu University functions under your leadership and guidance and reached at this present stage. Dr. Dakshinkar is also a well-wisher of our all activities, including SERA, and I'm very thankful for his kind consent and continuous support in organizing this webinar. I express my deep sense of appreciation and gratitude, sir. I would also like to give my sincere thanks and gratitude to Dr. Chaudhary, University Librarian, Dr. Sanjay Grover, CEO Informatics, and their team who has organized this webinar. And the knowledge and contribution of all the participants is also recognized. आज का मेरा जो टॉपिक है सर वह है यूज ऑफ ई रिसोर्सेज थ्रू JGATE SERA. So I will be speaking in Hindi and English both for the convenience of the participants and all the students and scientists and research scholars who are attending this webinar. As you are aware, the SERA is a flagship program of ICAR for promoting the online e-library and providing e-access of ICAR institutes, agriculture universities by 24/7 across India. SERA was started way back in 2008 under NAIP project और अभी हमारे 12 साल पूरे हो गए हैं. When we started this SERA, we had only nearly 120 or 125 members with the 4 and 5 international publishers with us. With a span of 12 years now, we have 152 members, including ICAR institutes, state agriculture universities, and Krishi Vigyan Kendras throughout the country. And we have been providing this access of SERA with the IP-based technology, but due to this COVID-19 scenario, we have changed this platform and now we are providing this access through remote access. And आप लोगों को ये जानकर बहुत खुशी होगी कि जितने भी हमारे सेंटर्स हैं, हमारे पार्टनर्स हैं, they all getting this e-resources through remote access, and they can access all these resources. And presently, we have got 3,300 plus e-journals, nearly 1,200 e-books available in the platform of SERA. SERA के साथ साथ में हम आपके ओपन एक्सेस की जो पब्लिकेशंस हैं या e-resources हैं, we are also providing to the users so that they can do more research and get the final result for the benefit of the farmers and the faculty and the nation. इस वेबिनार के माध्यम से मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि ICAR is spending nearly 35 crores per annum. हमारे डाउनलोड्स हैं, I would like to share 20 lakhs downloads in a year. ICAR is spending nearly 35 crores per annum for providing resources for the benefit of the students, researchers, and the scientists working in agriculture and allied subjects. The Animal Science University, जो आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी है, उसमें भी हम आपको e-resources provide कर रहे हैं. And presently we have 152 members. हमारे members इसको यूज करके अपनी रिसर्च करके हमारे फार्मर्स के लिए नई नई टेक्नोलॉजी, नए नए सीड्स, नए नए इंटरवेंशन इजाद कर रहे हैं. उनके लिए जितने भी हमारे साइंटिस्ट हैं, हम धन्यवाद देना चाहते हैं कि वह इस रिसर्च को पढ़ के अपने डे टू डे रिसर्च करके अपना एक मुकाम पा रहे हैं भारतीय कृषि में और भारतीय अन्य रिसर्च एक्टिविटीज़ में. हमारा जो एक ध्येय है कि एक डाउनलोड की कॉस्ट जो है इट शुड बी नॉट मोर देन $1. करीब करीब 80 से 100 रुपये की एक डाउनलोड कॉस्ट होनी चाहिए. बट हम देख रहे हैं कि हमारे डाउनलोड्स ज़्यादा ना होने के कारण से या हिट ज़्यादा ना होने के कारण से अभी प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन जो है वह करीब करीब 150 से 160 रुपया पर डाउनलोड आ रही है, जो एक गंभीर विषय है. The ICAR is spending, a government of India is spending a lot of money on this. So you are requested to use this maximum, this platform, so that the cost of downloads should be reduced to some $1 or maybe 100 rupees or 110 rupees. इस कारण से जो है हमारा जो एक पर्पस है वो एक सॉल्व होगा। साथ ही साथ में हमारे डाउनलोड के अलावा हमारे हिट्स जो है, मैं आप लोग शेयर करना चाहता हूँ, 25 लाख हिट्स हैं हमारे इस सेरा प्लेटफॉर्म के, जो एक बहुत हर्ष का विषय है। और मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप सभी साइंटिस्ट, रिसर्चर इस प्लेटफॉर्म को और से अधिक यूज़ करें। अधिक जानकारी इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स के मिस्टर संजय ग्रोवर, उनकी टीम आपको बताएगी कि किस प्रकार से हमने नए जो हमारे रिसोर्सेस हैं वो इस प्लेटफॉर्म में जे गेट प्लस के प्लेटफॉर्म में आपको उपलब्ध करवाए हैं। एंड यू कैन यूज एन नंबर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज इन दिस प्रोग्राम। आपको जो आपके क्वेश्चंस हैं, जो आपकी अप्रेंशन है अबाउट यूजिंग दिस सेरा, दैट कैन आल्सो बी एड्रेस इन दिस वेबिनार। तो इसी के साथ में मैं आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं और पुनः कामधेनु यूनिवर्सिटी को आप सबका मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं, खासतौर पे आदरणीय कुलपति महोदय जी का और आपके पूरे सभी साथियों का, कि आपने इस कोविड-19 के अंतर्गत में एक वेबिनार की शुरुआत की और इसको आगे बढ़ाया। धन्यवाद।
Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Sanjay Grover and I represent Informatics Publishing Limited. I would like to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, the Registrar of the University, the Librarian of the University, and SERA dignitaries who are on this platform to have given us an opportunity to take you through the roadmap of JGate at SERA and also take you through the a program of making you aware of what is being made available to all of you through SERA. My presentation is divided into two portions. The first portion will take you through the knowledge resources, how knowledge is, whatever is knowledge available, helping you through the process of e-learning. And the second presentation would be taking you through the outcomes of e-learning and how do you measure the outcome of e-learning. Now, I would be sharing my screen to all of you. And I am sure my screen is visible to all of you. So welcome once again all the virtual participants of webinar. As I can see, we have almost 120 to 129 participants joining at this point of time to the webinar. Welcome all of you to a webinar on accessibility of knowledge resources and e-learning management. The agenda for today's session will be, first I'll take you through a small introduction to informatics. Then I will take you through the knowledge resources of JGate at SERA. And then knowledge resources. This is a new aspect that we would like to bring across onto this platform. Knowledge resources supplementing employability. Here, what you will be understanding is, after taking your courses on agriculture or in the university, there are still problems related to employability. Not all of you enter into research. So some of you even go out of research and also go into different kind of. How do you also equip yourself for the employability? Now, there's somebody raising hand. Okay. Then I will be taking you through the challenges in measuring the outcome of e-learning, and then taking you through a solution for measuring the outcome of e-learning. Then finally, we'll close it by how integrating e-learning, online teaching, library resources, and assessment on a single platform. Basically, what are the resources that help you for e-learning? How do you learn online? Then how do you measure the outcome of learning online? And then how do you integrate the entire process so that a student or a researcher or a faculty on one platform is able to see everything. He's able to learn, he's able to teach, he's able to assess, and he's able to integrate library on the same platform. So that's the nutshell on the presentation today that we would be covering. Now, let me take you through a small slide of Informatics. Informatics is a 40-year-old company established in 1980, and it was established by Mr. N.V. Satyanarayana, a library and information scientist, and he's currently at the helm of the affair as the chairman of the group. And we are headquartered in Bangalore. We have almost a strength of 150 people today developing different products and teaching on different products. And then our clients are more than 1,500 international clients, 3,000, 4,000 Indian clients. So all these are using products like JGate. Our products and services are divided into 4 categories. Content products, you have already heard about JGate. Library technology product, when you have to access JGate remotely, it's a library technology solution that I will be taking through you, presenting it to you through this platform. Then we have this content management and publishing. Many of your universities are digitizing thesis, putting it into institutional repositories. We assist institutions to create institutional repositories, make them available open source on worldwide platform. Then we have a distribution division where we distribute print journals, online journals to all the users. And then we have a final division called e-learning solution, which is the target for this presentation today. Now, I will tell you, instead of telling more in depth on informatics, I would rather present a small multimedia of 2 minutes, which will take you through the history of informatics and what are our plans.
40 years ago, when information was scarce and online was unheard of, informatics was envisioned with a digital vision by an entrepreneur working as a librarian then to bridge the global information access gap in the country. This pioneering vision is a global company today with products and services benefiting millions of users in the academic, research, and corporate segments around the world. India Today magazine described the venture as the first online information company in India for global knowledge access. Serving global information companies on a project for supplying consolidated Indian business information helped Informatics to ideate its first digital information product named India Business Insight, IBI. Credited with the enviable reputation as the pioneers in the online and CD-ROM-based information business in India, Informatics started creating new digital information products through 1990s. Neuromed on CD, a product initiative funded by NIMHANS Bangalore, was the earliest e-journal archive in India for Indian medical journals. Driven by the internet advantage, Informatics developed its first global information product named JGate. JGate is truly the world's largest database for journal literature by its coverage of over 50,000 journals. The journey has continued with a diverse portfolio of products and services evolving across 4 business units: information products, digital library solutions, enterprise content management and publishing. The product family of Informatics is a growing list with innovation driven by the latest in technology and evolving market needs. In an industry where content is the king and technology is the master, Informatics has been a proud pioneer and leading player. Gaining 40 years of insightful experience by 2020, Informatics continues to be driven by values with a passion to deliver excellence.
So this was a brief presentation on informatics. Now let me come to the business agenda for today: knowledge resources available through JGate at Terra. Now, as you are all aware, research and learning has literature search, and research and learning plays a key role. Unless and until you do first a literature search, then your process of research and learning start. Now, research begins it's always said, it was also taught that research begins at two levels. One was, initially it was said that researching through annual reviews. Annual reviews is one of the most eminent publications which reviews whatever research is going on a particular subject domain, and the authors there, the researchers there tell you that your research for these areas is missing and you should start your research on these areas in a particular subject domain. So if you have annual reviews of neurosciences, annual reviews of critical medicines, so you have lots of annual reviews available, and these annual reviews give an indication of where do you begin your research. And the second key component of beginning your research is your bibliographic database. A database, this was always a point of contention, and library used to have a bibliographic database, and users used to first search bibliographic databases. Earlier, if you call it, in the olden days, it used to be indexing and abstracting journals. So you used to go to indexing and abstracting journal, pick up a topic, and then search what has been published, look at its abstract, and say, okay, ask your librarian to get you a full text of that article, and then start your research. Then the gradually technology migrated to bring bibliographic data, indexing and abstracting journals to online, on CD-ROM, floppies, and then online, and now it is all available on web. Now, but bibliographic database, like what are the bibliographic databases you have been using? Your library subscription itself, the articles published in your library journals, is itself a bibliographic database of your library. Then you also have databases like CABI, Medline. All these are bibliographic databases where you do search on a particular topic and then move ahead on proceeding for research. Now, what are the challenges with respect to bibliographic databases in today's world? Now, the first important challenge is unmet information need. When I'm doing a search on a particular subject area and I'm not able to find, I have identified some 10 articles from that database, citations. I give these citations, either I go to the Google or I give these citation to my library to get me a copy of the full text article. The major challenge, one challenge is that I am not able to get full text articles of all the citations that I have got from a bibliographic database. The second challenge is that this bibliographic database may not have covered all the articles of a particular journal that may have met your information needs. So there is a big challenge with respect to bibliographic data. Second challenge in current time span is affordability. Databases cost $8,000, $10,000 annual subscription, or maybe some of them are going up to $15,000 for annual subscription in the current environment. And then the third important challenge is infrastructure, internet access. Most of the databases are now available on internet access. Internet access is available in the libraries, but then to the end user, it is a major challenge. Now, having this at the background, I take you to a new aspect, that are you or your users, those who are researching, those who are learning, are they really missing something in their daily literature search process? Are they really missing the future in their daily research process? Now, how? Let us look at past versus the future. In the past, we had technologies like combustion engine, cars, TVs, telephone, personal computers, internet, smartphone. Compare it with new. What is the current new buzzword? Agriculture biotechnology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, big data, cloud computing, quantum computing. These are all the current trends, technology trends, or current technologies that are being talked about, current areas which are being talked about. Now, why did I say, are you really missing the future? Today, what is happening is, out of every 3 journal articles published in and around the world, only 2 of those articles are being made available to you or your users through your library subscription. Why? Because these 2 articles which are discoverable are available in library. One article is not available in library. Why is that article not available in the library? There is a justification your library gives to you also, because your library or your institution has a focus. Your institution focus is that we want to subscribe prestigious journals. We want to subscribe big publication volumes. We want to subscribe journals that have broader audience. We want to subscribe journals that have been published by bigger publishers. We want to subscribe journals which have high impact factor, and we want to subscribe mainstream journals. And when you subscribe to these mainstream journals, this is only what is visible in the library or in your information search process or literature process. Now, let us take the scenario of publication. What have we, over a research of couple of years, we have found out that older technologies, when I was explaining you older technologies and new technologies, the older technologies are published in prestigious journals. They are published in bigger publication volumes. They are published in journals which have broader audience. They are published in journals which have big publishers. They are published in journals which have high impact factor, and they are published in journals which are mainstream journals. Whereas the newer technologies are published in emerging journals, small publication volumes, specialized audience, smaller publishers, no impact factor, and maybe I could call them as obscure journals. Now, let us look at this table. This table, what we did an analysis that, okay, on a particular subject area, how many journal articles are published in English language, and how many of these journal articles are available in the library. So you basically get an indication that so many of them are not available in the library. So on an average, doing an analysis, if you find out, you will see that 34% of the content published in newer journals is not available and visible in your library or to your user. Now, I'll take a couple of subjects with this kind of an analysis. Let me take a subject called agriculture biotechnology. What used to happen was the older concept of agriculture biotechnology. You earlier in the years 1995, anything that was published on agriculture biotechnology used to be available in your library subscribed journal. But over a period of time, now you see 55% of the content that is published in agriculture biotechnology is available in only obscure journals and not the older journals. So you are actually missing 55% of the content related to agriculture biotechnology because it is published in obscure journals. Now, similar is the case with blockchain technology. Similar is the case with cloud computing. Cloud computing, the pattern is reverse. In 2007, whatever was published on cloud computing was never published in the older journals or reputed journal. It was only in a few new journals people used to talk about. Today, the trend has reversed. Today, 25% is published in only obscure journals, whereas 75% is published in the older journals. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity also a similar pattern you can see from 2002 to 2018-19, how the movement has happened. Now, how do you bridge this gap, or what is the solution to bridge this gap? Now, what Sera has provided you, the product called JGate, that bridges this gap. Because today the total number of articles indexed in JGate is more than 64 million articles. JGate is today qualified to be the world's largest database of online journal articles. And in these 64 million articles, you have an access to 14 million articles, open access published around the world. Total number of journals indexed are 50,800, in which 26,100 are subscription-based journal and 24,700 are full text access journal. Now, this is a product that would bridge this gap and help you to meet the future. Now, how do I compare it with vis-a-vis similar bibliographic database products in terms of numbers? Now, you look at it, 55,000 journals, 23,000 journals in Scopus, 21 in Web of Science, EBSCO 16,000. And if you look at this gap, You are basically 22,000 journals are journals which are available to you extra as part of the JGate that the SERA has to you today. So the value of JGate is in terms of the number of articles that you have an access to through this platform. Now, today, JGate, as per JGate at SERA, by means of their subscription, consortium subscriptions, they have made available to you 1,029 journals as subscribed, consortia subscribed. And the JGate has also a facility of picking up journals that are subscribed uniquely by all the SERA 152 members. The unique number of journals that have been subscribed by 152 members is 993. And we have provided and select open access 900 journals. So the total content at JGate at SERA was 2,923 journals that are made available to you full text at any point of time. Now, during the COVID crisis, we thought this amount of information that you have, since you are not in the institution, you don't have an access to your library, you don't have an access to subscriptions of many journals. So what we thought was, why not provide all the users of SERA around the country an additional content? So what SERA members have today additionally is JGate Complete. That means you have an access to 64 million articles. You have access to 14 million articles as part of JGate, plus all the articles coming from these 2,923 journals. And interestingly, each article that is there available in JGate has linked to full text. The full text may be active for an open access journal. The full text may be active for a subscription-based journal. The full text may be active for a journal which is temporarily made open access. 85% of these articles have author email addresses. That means if a journal which is not available to you and it is not full text available to you, have a facility to write to the author using his email address available in the platform to request him for a photocopy of an article. And then in case if there is a no, as I said, 85%, there is another 15% content which is not available. There we have tried to give a find in a library. Which library in India subscribes to that particular journal, that particular issue? You have the name of the library, you have the name of the librarian in that platform. Now you have to write an email to him to request him a photocopy of an article through an interlibrary loan. Table of content services. Veterans who are attending this platform meeting, they know about current content, they know how useful current content was, and now keeping in mind the usefulness of current content, we added this current content onto this platform. Alerting service, you can get alert on whatever you are now subscribing to and whatever you are interested in. If a new article is coming in that particular domain, you will get an alert. Now, we were talking about earlier only database of journal. Then we thought there is something more other than journal which is required for literature search. So why not add that also into this platform? Thesis, your Krishi Kosh thesis, your theses that are hosted on Krishi Kosh. Your own thesis may be available in your own institutional repository, but what about theses of other agriculture universities? So they are all added into Krishi Kosh. Now, if what you had to do was first go to Krishi Kosh, then go to JGate, then go to book series. So we said, don't bother about it. We will tell you how to do it. We indexed all the theses on this platform itself. So you got the thesis on this platform. Krishi Kosh as well as InflibNet Shodh Ganga theses are also made available on book series. There were many book series in agriculture domain. We indexed them onto this platform. Audio video. There are some engineering areas where there's a lot of lectures spoken in by authors in IIT Madras, IITs. So they have all recorded their videos in NPTEL. We indexed NPTEL video. So for example, if you are doing a search on soil management, you find a journal article, you find 2 theses, you will also find 2 NPTEL videos on soil management given by lecturers of IIT on this platform. TED Talk. Take an example of supply chain management. You're doing a search on supply chain management, you find articles on JGate, you find theses from Krishi Kosh, you find 2 TED Talks given by 2 eminent personalities on supply chain management, which are available on the platform of TED Talk. They have been indexed and they've been put onto this platform. So when a user is going into JGate, he's able to see journal article, he's able to see videos, he's able to book series, he's able to see thesis also on the same platform. Now, Dr. Joshi in his introductory remark mentioned that we have provided you access to the JGate platform remotely. Now, how do you access in COVID times sitting at home? The university has circulated to all of you a URL which is called sera-remote.informaticsglobal.com /login. Once you log into this platform, you will get a page like this, which asks for a user ID and password. And each university has been given one user ID and password to be circulated to all the users. So we have user ID and password has been given, which will be circulated. So like Kamdhenu University, Raipur has been given a user ID and password, which would have been circulated by the librarian to all the users. You can enter into this platform and log in from here. And you come into this area. Now, let me stop my screen share and then come back again to internet access. Okay, now all of you can see my login page, the Google URL, Google Internet Explorer page. Now I will enter, I gave you a URL, which I remember it is sera.remote@informaticsglobal. Now, I needed a confirmation if all of you are able to see. Can somebody unmute and confirm?
Yes, we can see, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now I entered into the Sera remote access platform. I have been provided a username and a password. I have entered username and password and I sign in. When I sign in, Sera has provided to me, if you can see Elsevier ebooks, Joshi Saab said in the beginning that you have also been provided 1,200 books. So Elsevier books also you can handle it here. Springer has made its offer as a trial to make available Springer ebooks. They are also available. There is a database of video talks called Henry Stewart Talk, HS Talks, which has been put on trial to all of you. All the videos by Nobel laureates and experts in different universities across the world, they have recorded their classroom presentations and presented in form of videos. You can have a look at those videos here. Now, these are 3 additional resources. When you come into this institute, choose your institute from whichever institute you are. Say, for example, now I am from Kamdhenu University. I select my university called Kamdhenu University and then click on JGate. Now, once I click on JGate, I land at the Kamdhenu University page of the JGate at Sera. Now, this is the landing place for JGate at Sera. I have entered into JGate. And once I enter into JGate, let me do a search, small search on JGate. Genetic engineering. And I do a search on genetic engineering. I think because of the internet access, I'm not, now I able to get it. Now, when I do a search on genetic engineering, you can see on this platform variety of information that I have told you that JGate has. First is that you can see here there are 24,373 articles on the keyword called genetic engineering. In these 24,373 articles, there are 10,226 articles which are available to the users of Kamdenu University in full text. And then you can also see this on this left-hand side. You have some 24,990 journal articles. You have 122 book series. You have 69 theses. You have 67 audio, video, and 25 conference proceedings. So you have multiple various content type shown on the left, and then your journals are shown on the right hand side. And then you can also, when you come down, you will be able to see that I click on this, I'll be able to see the bibliographic information of this particular journal article. Okay, so I have the author name. You can see the author names are a hyperlink. Suppose you found an interesting author, you can click on this author and you can get all the articles of this author. You can see the email address of this author. You can see source ranking. I'll come back to this source ranking. You can see it is a type of journal article. You can see the abstract of this. And then you also see that this is a green full text. That means I have full text access to this article from either subscription, or it may be open access, or it may be an article that my library would have subscribed to. So a bibliographic information, I have all these details. Now let me look at an article, further article. Here also I have a full text access. Now in this article, which is an article from Science of the Total Environment, I don't have a full text access. It says read. Now, unfortunately, there is no author email address also in this article. Now, I don't have an author email address. I don't have full text access. Then what do? You can see an icon here given, find in a library. This indicates that which library is getting this. This is Central University of Jharkhand is getting this information journal, and this is the address of this university, Central University of Jharkhand in Ranchi. You can contact this university to get a photocopy of an article. So your request is fulfilled either by availability of a full text, or find in a library, or let me look at another example. Take this example. This is assessment of genetically engineered events. Now this is, I don't have an article at my library. I don't have an email address. I don't know which library, but it says request the article. This means this article is coming in one of the ICAR institute. So once I click on this, I'll be able to send a request of photocopy of this article to an institution which has this journal. So this journal is available in Acharya N.G. Ranga University, Agriculture University. And it is also available in many other universities. So whichever is the university nearest to me, I can click it, give my details, and then send this email to them. So once an email goes to that university, they will be able to deliver the photocopy of this article to you. Ideally, the turnaround time has been given as 48 hours, but then we keep on reminding each of the universities to do this fulfillment as soon as possible. And we keep also sending them alerts that these are so many requests which have not been fulfilled. So you are able to see an indication of how to get a full text of articles that are published in your domain worldwide. All have been aggregated on this platform. Now I'll stop sharing and then again move to my screen, the PowerPoint presentation. So this was the screen, we had gone through it. We had landed at Kamdeni. What new features you will be able to see? Some benefits that you can see, these I've already covered. I'll skip this. Now, we saw that journal ranking. We have been able to include Scimago journal ranking, H-index and NAS rating. So for each journal, you can have a journal article. You can find out an article which has the highest Scimago journal ranking, which has the highest H-index, or whichever highest is NAS in terms of NAS rating. So you can identify all these items with respect to ranking. So you can see here journal ranking, get by SJR, H-index and NAS. So these are some of the areas. Since it is a shortage of time, I am now running for my presentation. Okay. So this is how you will be able to see and rank all the journal articles that you have seen here. We have another filter called filter of country of publication. I'll just see if I can skip to the other one. Devendra, is my screen visible for web browser?
Right now you're on the presentation slide, sir.
Presentation.
Presentation slide.
Okay. Okay, so I'll not, again, I'll have to stop sharing and then move. So I would rather avoid that turnaround time.
Sure, sir.
Every article that is published, it is published from a journal which belongs to a country. So for agriculture, this is more important because you know, there may be that Africa is doing good work on soil science. Malaysia and other areas would be doing more good work on wheat crop. So you need, when you're doing a search on wheat, you would like to see more journals from Malaysia. So you will either try to filter it by country of publication, identify those journal and seamlessly move into those journal articles for your research purpose. Now, but what happens is, what is your focus of research? One is the focus of research, and then the second focus is that publishing this research. So you may be using tools like BibTeX, EndNote. So you need to, whatever search that you are doing on JGate platform, whatever article that you want, you have searched on JGate platform, you would also like to refer it to in your publication. So when you are referring to it, that article in your publication, you have to have a particular citation format. So JGate provides you a facility to click on this icon here, and you will be able to get a facility that you want to copy this item into your publication. In which format? APA format, Chicago format, Harvard format, MLA format, or Google format, whatever format you want. You have some 10 different formats on this platform. Should there be a situation arising that your university has decided on a particular format, you can share that format with us and we will incorporate into this platform. Now, this is a unique functionality that has been added called hybrid open access journal. Over the last two to 3 years, many authors are going to reputed publishers like Elsevier, Springer, Wiley, telling them that, okay, I want to get this published, my research published with your due peer review process, but I want to get it published earlier. If I'm giving it today, in the next issue that should come, I want to get it published. The publishers said, okay, we will charge you X amount of dollars for publishing it, subject to the process, publishing process. Then they started publishing some of the open access articles in their subscription-based journal, because that's the trend moving in the open access movement. So today what is happening is, in leading publishers, in leading journals, 25 to 30% of the content published by them is open access. And those open access articles published in subscription-based journals are called hybrid open access journals. So we started indicating all those journals as hybrid open access journals and allowed you a facility to search on hybrid open access journals. So you will be able to see here hybrid open access journal. So that means there may be a journal which you cannot subscribe to, which your institution cannot afford to. You can, maybe that there are some articles which are free. You can get an access through JGate, which has been provided to you by Seraph. Now this I'll skip. Now, you saw the searching of journals. You have been searching journals, online journals, print journals available in your library, but they are available online. You have been able to search. But then you have been able to also search Elsevier ebooks which have been given to you by Sarah. Any other ebooks that would have been available in the library could also be made available on this platform. Now the problem is, what about in this COVID times? How do I search my library book? How do I know which book is in the library on a particular subject? So discovery of a library which has physical books is happening through OPAC. So all of you have Web OPAC in your institution. You log into your Web OPAC and see the book availability. Now, what JGate has done is JGate has expanded its delivery option or discovery option to include library management software. So we started beginning with anybody who has Koha, we are able to integrate Koha also searchable through JGate. So when you're able to search JGate, you will be able to see, in addition to journal article, thesis, you'll also be able to see catalog. That means whatever books are available in your library catalog on a particular subject that you're searching can also be searched through this catalog. Now, coming back to the final closure of my presentation, I have two important aspects to cover. Now, journals and books, other e-resources are facilitating learning process. Now, there are two challenges with this learning process. The first challenge is with this learning process, and when I have done my degree, will this really lead to employability? If not, what it has to be done? And the challenge for the teacher is that we have made this learning process, we have made the students learn on our platform. What is the outcome of that learning? Has the student put in that many number of hours and efforts or not to learn on that particular process? So these two challenges I'm going to address. The first challenge is supporting employability. Now, what is happening in the current environment that whenever you and wherever you are going, people are asking your students, do you have some knowledge of IT or not? Do you have some knowledge of Java, Python? So in addition to agriculture, yes, we need some IT capability also to improve employability. To do that, we are now introducing you a platform called Give Me 5, which is an e-learning platform for languages like artificial intelligence, Java, Python, C++. Your student or your university can subscribe for 6 months or an yearly base for your student, and it will allow you to learn in 6 months Java or C++, and the university can, in collaboration with us, give a certification to the student that yes, this student, in addition to have been done MSc in agriculture biotechnology, he also has a certification program given by the university on Java or C++, so that he becomes more employable. And this is something which your university can think of at an affordable cost from 800 to 1,000 rupees per course per student this can be given, and a certificate could be given to the student. So this is how the platform looks like. You can learn Python, you can learn C++, web development, game development, artificial intelligence, all can be learned on a same platform. So after having learned, now the question with the challenge with this learning process is multiple students are getting multiple course materials from different teachers. One is giving in PPT, one is giving in PDF, one is giving only in link. So they are bombarded. So there's no uniform method of giving or solving the assignment, and the library is isolated. Challenge for teacher is, how do I give uniform assessment to all the students? How do I monitor the outcome of online learning? How many hours the student has put in, how many concepts he has understood, and does he really read the material that the teacher has given to the student? So how do he creates a uniform course material and a curriculum online? Now, what is the solution for this particular problem? Now, to take you through the solution of this problem, I will now share the screen and give access to my colleague Devendra, who will take you through this process of the solution in a couple of minutes. Over to Devendra.
Thank you, sir. You may have to provide the rights of host.
Yeah, I have made you the host.
Welcome all participants and the Honorable VC and Dean and other from CGKV Durg. Time is very short. I'm going to cut short my presentation. Just to start with, as Sanjay sir mentioned about the e-learning through SERA, I'm going to talk about how e-learning management can be done during COVID-19. Same time, I wanted to just announce here that as Mr. Grover has given the video of how informatics started and all, we are proud to inform you we are celebrating our 40 years in this area, and through this in these 40 years, we all thank to all those who have traveled with us in the past. We are talking about e-learning management during COVID-19. What have we done during this COVID-19? They are complete lockdown from last 4 months now. And as I mentioned, we are celebrating 40 years in this area. The responsibility towards knowledge community, we wanted to do something during this COVID lockdown. There were 3 important points what we thought very important, that we got many questions, many queries from the knowledge community. There are a problem of accessing the subscribed content from home. There are 3 categories actually. There were universities and colleges and schools. They were having content with them. As you all aware, content is provided only on IP. That means a person is there in the IP range. That means in the college library or the college premises. Then only that he or she can access the content. During lockdown, it was not possible to reach to the library. So how to access that content? Second question used to be, oh, we didn't have funds, so we didn't have the content, the latest content with us. We didn't have books and journals for our study. How can you help us? And third was, yeah, we do have it, but we don't know whether my user, whether my student, and this was from many schools and many universities basically, that we are having the content, we are giving the content to the students, but we really don't know. We don't have any method by which we can measure whether the learning process was happening or not. So these 3 points very important. How we address those issues. The problem of accessing the subscribed content from home was taken care by our product called as Informatics Remote Access Solution. You might have heard also, you have seen also, many SERA institutions were not having the remote access solution, but the efforts of SERA officials were there, especially Mr. Joshi was there, who was keen into giving the access of whatever content the university is having to be provided to the users sitting at home. They can access this content. So we gave the trial continuously to all the students so that they can access the content of the library sitting at home. This was our responsibility during our 40 years celebration. The second point was, many people did not have the content also. So let me add again here and appreciate the efforts of Joshi and the entire SERA team. And Grover also mentioned just now that we have opened the entire 50,000 plus e-journals through JGET to all the agriculture universities. Many of the universities and colleges we have given the content, not just journals, but book related to agriculture. The access of that book also was open during this lockdown. Third important was how to address the request of e-learning management during COVID-19 lockdown situation, because content was given, access was given, whether users are really using it or not. Just draw your attention to the Library Technology Conclave, which was the biggest conclave, which was organized by Informatics in 2019. In 2019 itself, we envisaged how libraries can become, the topic itself says, from e-books to e-learning, how libraries can be treated as learning hubs. So we wanted library to be a learning hubs than just issuing and returning the book. How the challenge of learning is there, just now Mr. Grover mentioned. What is the situation today? Multiple methods by faculty to teach students. Students have multiple platforms, multiple methods from teachers. No uniform method of giving or solving assignments. Library is completely isolated. It's a different part. It's not integrated. What is the challenge for teachers? The challenge is how to give a uniform access to the student, assessment to the student, how to monitor whether how many hours the students have put in, how really they have understood the concept or not. All these are taken care through one product called as QuickLearn. We have launched this QuickLearn platform recently, and we are really getting a great response because it is actually fulfilling the requirement of all the agriculture universities, colleges, engineering and management colleges. How? As I mentioned, content is there, access to the content is there, but the content is really learned or not. We don't have any measurement to that, right? QuickLearn is the product. It's a platform wherein informatics has invested huge amount using the advanced technology like artificial intelligence, cloud computing, everything has been put in together, and this platform has been started. Now, it supports the outcome-based education. What do you mean by outcome-based education? The education is happening as per the whatever vision is there. But what is the outcome of that? There are two different definitions for that. One definition says using learning outcome statements to make explicit what the student is expected to be able to know, understand, or do. One point says providing learning activities which will help the student to reach these outcomes. Important is assessing the extent to which the student meets these outcomes through the use of explicit assessment criteria. What are the important thing is in outcome-based education is these are the attributes you can see on the right top corners of the slide. Person has to have a knowledge, but then what is the process of that knowledge and what is the purpose of the knowledge? What is the attitude of the person? Again, what is the commitment of that attitude? And what are the skills the person has? Entire all together, if you club together, what it gives, what is the ability of the person to get this outcome-based education. These are the 5 important components of this QuickLearn adaptive learning platform. The first point would be course management. Then it comes to content organizer. Then third is course delivery, digital exams, and then learning assistance. I'll just briefly touch upon all these 5 points before ending my presentation. What do you mean by course management? In course management, what is my vision of my university as per my department-wise course vision, and then accordingly my course has been designed right from what are the problems are there. Enrollment of students for each course. They create the calendar with lesson and session plan. What are my vision is there? If it is my fisheries department, what is my vision as per whether my calendar is prepared for each lesson, each session of the plan, and a plan is developed accordingly for the sessions or in the classroom, which is offline. Capture the attendance and record class participation. You must have seen now, there's a buzzword right now, e-learning, schools ko e-learning ka kuch de do. They are sitting at home. Many governments are still coming out with many decisions, but there is no method where you can measure it. Here is the method which we are talking about. This gives the improved student engagement. This gives the extract of how the student has spent the time on that particular topic, that particular chapter, that particular content, whether it is PDF or the video link or only a text, how it can be done. Through AI, we have done everything. So this is a course management which takes care of capturing the course objective and attainments, deliver assessments aligned to the outcomes. So course objective and course outcomes are important part in this e-learning management, which happens through the process. Now, what are the, it simplifies the data capture of course objective. It sets course objective aligned to the program objective. It's the session classes as per the course objective. And in the end, It auto updates all the course files. Standardized templates of course files are there. It auto computes student-wise attainment computation. Auto computes all the course outcomes attainment. Now, we create the adaptive courseware. The courseware, how it should be? It should be engaging. The student should be engaged completely. And there is an app for that. There is an app for the quick learn, which helps the users, doing this. Now, create a content pack as a sequence of learning material at a course unit in any content format. We can do it in the video link, images, etc. We can add web link, ebooks, video links, journals. As you have seen, JGET is a part of SENA. JGET is searched through Quick Learn. Even Koha is a library management software which is used for a discovery of a library. That is also searched through Quick Learn app. So access is possible through mobile, tab, desktop, and laptops. Right? Extremely important is we can understand how the learning process happened, how much time has been spent. Now, unless there is an assessment, the exam or the test, all those topic-wise objectives, of course, objective-wise assessments have not happened. Until then, the e-learning is complete. It's not complete. Now, how this Quick Learn helps? It creates a question bank for each course. It's auto-processed. You can create the question bank and feed in there, or it can create the question bank on its own through the algorithm, what we have said. Categorize the questions to the course objective, create password protected unique questions paper for each attempt. It creates assignments that support multiple formats. It auto computes attainment for every student, generate report and certifications as well. If you can see the right bottom corner of this slide, it gives you the tab and which has got questions. So what we can do, it has a multiple choice or multiple answer questions as well. Fill in the blanks and short descriptions. Essay type or long description questions also is possible through this. Mathematical, scientific, calculated types, numerical, content-based, image, video, text, everything is possible in this kind of scenario. Too many data types. What we do, we are student, instructor, and course mapping. We do course mapping as well. We analyze the course delivery and the progression of the course, the performance data group or individual student. All the data points are collected and analyzed. We create additional content for specific topics, then create additional assessment for targeted groups. In the same class, they can be 2-4 other groups for different topics. So we can have the targeted exams for them also. And we can create the additional assessments for them and continuous track we have the tracking mechanism to monitor the progress of the learning, which is e-learning. E-learning is completely invisible. We don't know how the person is learning, but this platform is taking care of all those things. Then personal learning assistance is available. How we do it? Access course-wise content from all sources. We have content from publishers, e-books, video courses, free or paid content from curated list. Then access recently opened content. These are all the features of Quick Learn. In this personalized thing, what we can do, if you can see the middle screen, you can see there's some topics is highlighted, right? So highlighting in the particular page is possible. If you have any YouTube related thing to this particular topic, you can bring that link, you can paste that link here. So whenever next time you're coming out to learning this complete chapter, you get immediately a link here. You can click link and go to the YouTube channel for that. So all these things are integrated here. Open any format content in this. You can add images, file or references, add related web links for additional readings. You can add bookmarks. You can see this bookmark is possible. You can have the tags, pins, notes, sticks, everything is available in this. We can add content from email, YouTube, wiki to this Quick Learn app. And not just that, whatever nowadays suppose a teacher is there, he's having some concept, he's writing, scribbling down something on page, taking the photo, sending on a WhatsApp to the group of students. Students, they can download it. Oh, that writing was there, manuscript kind of thing is there. Okay, let him download that thing from the got it from the teacher. He can add it that in the Quick Learn app. So all the learning material is available at one stop, and then he can learn all things together, and the platform is already taking care of the tracking of the learning process. All this learning process I've just discussed with you, and the learning assistance is available. This is how the mark cards, and not just offline learning, but the offline examination, but the online examination is also. 2-3 universities of agriculture area have already requested for this because they are facing problem how to take care of the exams. So this platform provides all through, right from enrollment of a student to setting the course material, assigning the planning the session, lesson plan, then learning process, monitoring the process, assessment. After that, you get the mark system also. You can see on the right side of the slide, and the at the bottom also topic wise mark system can be given, and finally certification is also possible. So what exactly it is? It's end-to-end digital transformation for academic activities. The main features, as I mentioned, is Quick Learn solution is comprehensively manages the digital transformation for academic management. Quick Learn offers cloud-based platform as a service model. No infrastructure is required at the university end. It gets deployed in very few hours. E-books and journals offered from leading publishers can be done through Quick Learn, as I mentioned in between. It is integrated with Koha also and JGate also. So Quick Learn's AI engine recommends additional content from various other sources. Student access using Quick Learn app. Personal learning assistant designed to enhance learning experience. Access is possible from mobile, tablet, laptop, and desktop. Access content from anywhere, anytime. It gives the comprehensive learning insight. So I request Honorable VC sir to look into this, and all those participants, they can also having the experience of this learning app Quick Learn, which helps in analyzing, which helps the university or the college for analyzing the learning process, which tracks the learning process of the users, and it helps users to all the things integrated on the same platform. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience hearing. Thank you.
Now we are open for some question answer sessions. If there are any questions, Devendra, any questions have come on the question answer bot, or?
There are only two. Is there any process to have subjective type examination online? This is Dr. S.P. Ingole. He has asked the question, is there any process to have subjective type examination online? To answer this, yes. Through Quick Learn platform, we have subjective type examination also. We have objective type examination also.
I would also like to add here is, in case
Yes,
of
sir.
subjective type, when you have a question with a full detailed answer, there are two ways for the student to answer this question. The one is that he can type it online onto the same platform. The platform provides him a provision to type in the answer, or he can write onto a paper and scan the paper and upload the answer. So both these options are available for subjective type.
Right, sir. And another question is, please give website address from where ebooks of veterinary science can be freely downloaded. This is Dr. O.P. Dinani, Veterinary College, Anjora.
We'll share that website details through the.
It can be sent individually, sir. We'll do it, sir.
We'll share that.
If any question is there from Side we can ask, take the question, or now we invite Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. N.P. Dakshinkar for his presidential address.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Chhattisgarh Kamdhenu Vishwavidyalaya, I profusely thank Mr. S.K. Joshi, Mr. Grover, and Mr. Devendra Thakur for their elaborate presentation on a topic which is really very near to my heart. The COVID-19 global pandemic has caused a significant disruption in the education system, and all the universities within the country have responded well to this situation and have internalized many innovations towards sustaining the academic programs and student engagement during the pandemic-led lockdown across the country. In fact, the current pandemic has paved way for many disruptive innovations in use of technology for education, which otherwise taken much longer time. But during this time, what I experienced, there were many inhibitions among the faculty members on their ability to cope with the need to stay engaged in the academic activities through various online means. So I thought that it is the most opportune time to have an interaction and detailed deliberations about how we can access the information and how we can manage by way of e-learning. The lockdown really imposed on all the universities loss of, I should say, approximately 45 calendar days. The loss of effective academic learning time and effective faculty time. So in this context, I asked our librarian registrar, Dr. Markam, to have a national webinar on this and enlighten the faculty and the students as well about the accessibility of the information. And I'm very thankful that the representative of the informatics, particularly Mr. Grover and Mr. Thakur, they have given us very good, I should say, the paths through which the university can undertake the teaching programs, not only the teaching, but at the same time, the complete learning management system through the software that they have developed. As regards the software that has been developed by the informatics, definitely our university would be much more inquisitive to know about this, and in future, I should say within short span of time, we may enter into some form of agreement in the interest of the students. The other thing I must appreciate that with very meager course fees, they have introduced the Java, C++, and the other languages in the interest of the student community. In this regard also, the university would take some initiative so that some of the students from this university will register these courses and will expand their knowledge. So I congratulate the organizers and particularly Mr. S.K. Joshi, who is in charge, SERA, for sparing their valuable time with all of us for enlightening the gathering about the accessibility of the information. I also thank Mr. Grover and Mr. Devendra Thakur for excellent presentation on a topic which was badly needed for all of us. Once again, on behalf of Chhattisgarh Kamdenu Vishwavidyalaya, I thank you, and we will be holding each other's hand to go a long way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dakshin, for your precious words to us. May I request Dr. Markham to officially do the vote of thanks, please. Dr. Markham.
Very happy and blessed morning to one and all. As if all good things come to an end of life, so is this webinar. On behalf of CGK Vidur, I deem it a great honor to propose vote of thanks to all those who have directly or indirectly contributed to these webinars and help us to make such a resounding success. First and foremost, I would like to convey my deep sense of gratitude to our HVC CGKV and also the chief guest of today's webinars, Dr. N.P. Dakshinkar sir, who blessing us with their presence and look out precious time for his busy schedules. Thank you, sir, for giving us the opportunity to organize this webinars and your valuable speech. As a special thanks to you, sir, because you have established university libraries as an independent unit. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished speakers and resource persons, Dr. S.K. Joshi sir, in charge SERA and DKMA ICR Delhi, for delivering and excellent, interesting and meaningful presentations. Sir, we are really enlightened with you, your knowledge and presence. I also to express my gratitude to Mr. Sanjay Grover, Chief Executive Officers of Informatics Bangalore, and Devan Thakur for giving important information about use of SERA and e-learning management. Sir, the way to express to topics is exemplary. I am very grateful to Dr. S.K. Tiwari, Dean, College of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Anjora, to his gracious present to and constant encourage. I also wish to express my gratitude to Dr. O.P. Mishra, Director Research, CGKV, for the valuable presence in the webinars and encouraging the enhancing establishment of university library, and on programs can become success with the single persons. So as a special thanks to all organizing committee, teachings and non-teaching staffs for the enhancing supports and coordinations. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for actively participants. With this warm word and kind message, we move to end of today's seminar. Thanks one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Markham, for your vote of thanks. We'll be ending the webinar here. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Devendra. Thank you, Mr. Grover.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.